everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Canucks Corner, presented by Puck and Flamingo. My name's Andrew. I got my boys Zach and Steve with me. How you guys doing, boys?
A little sore.
A little sore.
About that.
Steve sores.
A little sore. Did some sparring yesterday, and
I thought you were emotionally
yeah.
sore.
Oh no! I mean, I have no emotions.
I don't know. Well,
I tucked those feelings way down deep and put some liquor on top of that. So
yeah, we'll get into it. I'm doing pretty good. I'm
we'll get into that. That's a different podcast, Steve.
Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot podcast. My bad, guys.
I'm a little bit sore today. Played hockey last night. So that's about it.
Are you still playing goalie, Zach?
Yeah, I am. So my groin is shredded today, but you know,
yeah.
it's all right. I'm sitting down now, so I have nothing to complain about.
Fair enough. All right, awesome. So, I mean, look, guys, for all the listeners out there, thanks for tuning in. This is obviously going to be a huge episode, probably the biggest one we've ever done. And we don't have
biggest
to tell you why.
Two.
Yeah, the biggest out of two. Well, come on. In all fairness, we have the other.
We got that ones going.
Oh, right.
Episodes as well. Yeah.
Sorry, the ones you're not included with.
Yeah,
you're right. The biggest of the.
It's all
Canucks
about
Corner.
you, Zach. All right.
Sorry.
No, this is probably the biggest episode we've ever done. I mean, even included the other episodes.
With wet coasters too.
Wet coasters as well, yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I don't have to announce it. I probably will anyways. We all know the news. Oliver Ekman-Larsson's coming to town. Probably more notably Garland. What do you guys think? Do you think he's the bigger name?
You think he's more notably than OEL?
I'd say so. I'd say he's the bigger name. If we broke this trade down into two parts, I would say, in my opinion, and then I'll let you boys run with this, okay? Roussel and the 9th pick for Garland. And then you have the rest of that shit package for OEL.
It's a little fucking pricey.
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. I don't think so either.
So,
Steve, have you watched this guy play? I
think I'm not trying to put him down. Like I think you guys are seeing it the wrong way. I don't know. We could talk as much as you want, but there's a lot of talent in that top 10 of that pick, man. And to just throw away a 9th pick and kind of say like, oh, like this guy's gonna be better than the 9th pick overall is a little cocky, right? So we could have got Dylan Guenther, who could be an elite player. Looking back on it, I'm not putting down Garland. I'm happy he's on our team. I am happy we got him. I hate giving up that 9th pick, considering we lost Cole Lind. We traded Tyler Madden for Toffoli for a quarter of a season. Our prospects are getting a little bleak. So either we go all in and or we will be suck for the next few years, but we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we can. I do want to touch on that prospect thing in a minute, but I was going to you, Zach. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's all about building around this core. I mean, we've got an identified core. If you look at the kind of the age of the group that we've got going, like what is going to be more handy? I mean, bringing in Garland. I mean, I think OEL is the bigger name coming over right now anyway, more established anyway. But I mean, Garland is going to be a star on one of these lines. Like the way that they've got him kind of slotted in is he's going to be playing probably right wing on Horvat's line with Hoglander on the left. And I mean, he is going to thrive there. Like between Horvat and Garland and Hoglander, all three of them a motor around the ice. So we're going to have that line alone is going to be crazy. But I think, man, I'm so excited. And I think that building around this core now, like what do we need more to get kind of competitive to that next level? An 18-year-old or a 25 and 30-year-old established NHL? I mean, OEL was a star 2 years ago. I think that he'll really, but I mean, look at the team he's been playing on, both of them. Arizona, I mean, it's a wasteland, but I have a feeling that this is going to be huge for our core moving forward for these next, I'd say the window is probably 3 to 5 years now to really compete for it.
Yeah, I heard somebody say, I think maybe they said the 3 to 5 window's out now. It's a 2-year, but I don't believe that. I think if anything, this solidifies the 3 to 5 year window. I mean,
me too.
Why would it be 2 year? I mean, because once we lock in PD Hughes,
OEL's already declining and people don't see him like Jim Benning sees him. That's
Jim
why.
Benning has a fire underneath his ass to do something within these 2 years. So I can see why he made that move. I don't fully agree with it. I think it all comes down to OEL's play. If he can't produce, or I hear a lot of people saying, well, Arizona is more defensively, he doesn't probably fit that system. He'll play the Canucks, a little bit more offensive minded, and hopefully that works out. I really hope it does. I think he's a really gifted offensive defenseman. And if it does work out, then it could be a big trade and moving forward. But if it doesn't work out, there's teams, if you guys remember dynasties, you had teams like, I want to say Detroit, who had a farm team with constantly producing top end players, right? Every time they were looking to it, there's a new guy coming to the farm team that was producing at a high level. That's how you win championships, and that's how you win multiple championships, right? Obviously, as Vancouver fans, we just want one. We just want
give us one.
Just give us one. So I mean, then I mean, I feel what you're saying, but I mean, if we don't do it, it's going to be even longer for us to get there again because there's nothing coming through there. That's all my worry, right? So, yeah, I mean,
I can understand it, but I mean, especially with today's NHL, it's all about that ebb and flow. Like, you're gonna have to sell those first round picks, those higher draft picks to kind of add the talent to build up around that core. And I mean, I think we have an identifiable core that's all between the ages of, well, I don't know, the lowest at Hughes at 21 to Horvat at 25, 26. So, I mean, I don't know. I think we've got that core established, and we're basically going to insulate around them and build forward with that team in place.
No, definitely. And sorry, I was just looking up the so I wanted to see, Steve, I know you talked about the mortgaging the future, Jim Benning kind of doing that to save his ass a bit. Isn't that I think that's what you're saying, isn't it? And 100%. I think that's how one of our other buddies saw it too. But so I agree with that, and it does worry me. I mean, the fact that we have how many we've had, one draft pick, one first rounder in the last 3 years.
Yeah,
is that right?
We lost JT Miller, which I'd give up a first round for JT. I'm not doubting that,
but not Garland.
Do you think Garland's as talented as JT Miller? No. To even compare the two, I think is kind of absurd. And to even say that he's guaranteed on that second line is a little absurd too. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with Podkolzin's play, right? Or Podkolzin. I can't pronounce his name.
But the other thing about that trade too is that JT Miller for the first was straight up. Like, this one, Arizona is eating 3 absolute trash bag contracts.
Okay.
As well as we're picking up one guy who's, the contract is going to look ugly in the last 2 years. I agree. But I mean, at the same time, money for money, I would much rather have OEL and Garland on our lineup than Beagle, Roussel, and who was the last one again? Oh, Eriksson, Mr. Eriksson.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? With giving up all those shitty contracts, I mean, Eriksson was only $4 million. He dropped from $6 million at the end of it. Beagle was 4.5. And then Roussel is in the mid threes. We only saved $4 million of cap with this trade, but now we're locked into a guy for 7.26 or whatever it is for 6 years. We wait one more year, we lose all 3 of those contracts. They're all done.
Right.
We have our first round pick, and we can make a play next year in that free agency pool. Well, after locking up Hughes and Petey, we can worry about that next season, and that's when we make our move. That's what I've been saying earlier. I mean, in another podcast, I was talking about that's when we make that move, because we are losing. I'm pretty sure we lose Luongo's 1 point, wherever it is, too. This year
Luongo's
after this
recapture. Yeah, Luongo's recapture.
Yeah, so that opens up even more cap. All we have to do is wait 1 year, and now we're stuck with it. And doesn't this remind you of what happened, a few years ago when we signed Louis Eriksson? He was a 30-year-old forward who was producing, who scored 40 goals in a season, a high-end guy who we picked over for 6 point whatever it was for 6 more years, and it fucking dropped. He sat in our fucking farmland. OEL could do that. He could drop off in 2 years and be dog shit for 4 years. We're playing $7.3 million for a defenseman who maybe doesn't fit our system, when we could have waited and still had a top 10 pick and picked the defenseman that we wanted. You know what I mean? We're not pawning off our contracts to whoever can. Jim Benny, screw if OEL does not produce for us, he fucked us. And that's basically the facts. It doesn't matter if Garland produces. We have our defense. Smith's gone. What do you mean? I
don't think you're putting enough weight in how good Garland is going to be for our team.
I don't think so either. Or the fact that we've been carrying Edler at 35 for $6 million for the past 2 seasons. Like
OEL's a contract swap. That's all that is.
I think exactly.
But what I'm trying to say is that we give up. Yeah, sure, Garland's that good, but we're giving up our pick as well. I'm not trying to put down. I like Garland. Everything I've heard about the guy is that he's a team guy. He's a locker room guy. Everyone loves him. He's one of the hardest workers. I'm not putting shit on Garland. If anything, that's the one thing why I'm not 100% on the side. I'm leaning this to a little bit, but I think it depends on OEL. I like Garland. Don't get me wrong. He only wanted to go to 2 teams, and one was Boston, one was Vancouver. And Boston is where he grew up. So he didn't want to leave Arizona. He wanted to stay there. He was going to sink with the ship or rise with it, right? So he's a ride or die guy, and he only had 2 teams he wanted to go to, and he came to us. I am beyond happy to have him on our team. But we're looking at right now, and not, with like I'm saying, Dylan Guenther comes in, he's a top star, right? In a year or 2, when we could make our run at that point. We're basing off of something that we don't know what we gave up yet. So it's a lot easier to sit there and be like, oh yeah, it's a great trade because Garland's awesome, but this guy could be, a next level guy. That's all I'm trying to say.
Or he could be the Oli Ulevy or Jake Virtanen that we drafted first round, right? I mean,
he could.
It's there if you're going to gamble. Like, and again, look at how hard teams have been trying to shed cap, like you said, in this flat cap era. Like, they've been forking out first round picks, second round picks, drafts, everything. Benning managed to drop 3 brutal contracts in one trade. That is incredible. In this flat cap era, he literally took all of our shit and dumped it in one wasteland, that boneyard that's Arizona, and that's it. Like, I don't know. To me, this trade is incredible. I mean, I'm willing to eat the last 2 years probably of OEL's contract, which, to be fair, is how pretty much every 8-year contract is signed now for a guy in his late 20s to 30, to 27 to 30. They're planning on buying out the last 2 years anyway. So I don't know. For this 5-year window that's opened up now, I am all for it. Like, I mean, this kind of signaled that this is a signal by Benning. Like, we're guns a-blazing. This is it. We've got the core in place, and now we're going to start competing.
I totally agree. And if you look at a player like OEL now, yeah, he's been declining on his statistically over the last few years. But I mean, I don't put that all on a player. I look at the organization as a whole as well. And when did that start? That started happening during the what's his name, Rick Tocchet era. Is that how you say it? Tocchet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't think there's good blood there.
Yeah.
There wasn't good blood there. So if you're the captain of a team, right, and you're feeling underappreciated or unwanted, you're not going to perform. Of course not, right? He performed in those years under Dave Tippett, right? That's when he was a star. And who's he good buddies with, right? Travis Green. So, and I think they share similar coaching styles as well. And you to bring a guy in now, I heard this the other day too, and I thought it was, a player like OEL, like he for him to thrive, he needs to be in a scenario where he feels like he's wanted. In Arizona, he wasn't getting that, right? And I could totally understand that. Like, I've worked for jobs where if you don't feel like you're like nothing you do is making anybody happy, you don't really perform to your best, right? So if you put him in a situation where he knows, right? We've already said he's our guy. So he knows coming in here to a Canadian market where there's a lot of pressure that he's the guy. I think you could see a rejuvenated Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Oh, absolutely. You look at his lineup. So his pairing from last year was who? Jason Demers, and their top line was Christian Dvorak, Connor Garland, and Nick Schmaltz. Are you kidding? Like, now he's going to align with Petey, Besser, Horvat, Miller, like all these guns up front.
He'll play power play.
Deep partner. He'll play power play 1 probably, put Hughes down to power play 2 or whatever, vice versa. But either way, he's getting
takes a huge ton of pressure off Quinn Hughes.
Absolutely.
Because let's not forget, these guys are still kids.
Yeah.
Do you understand that he's played in the league for 10 years and only been positive, like a positive plus minus twice, right?
On the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They've had runs. They've had runs where they've been good. They've had a couple seasons.
They had one, 2012.
2012, and then that's when they had
how many plus 40-point seasons did he have? He had 139 points. So let's count that.
3. He's his last season he's got 24. In 2019 was 30.
Last season he had 24, which is
points, but minus 17.
On pace for what, 60?
He was been minus 28, minus 25, minus 18.
Yeah, on the Arizona Coyotes. What a shit stat. That's not a good argument.
That's 100% a good stat. Everyone says it's a shit stat, but it's not. Just because you can lose games, just because it's Arizona Coyotes, right? When you're on the ice, it's decorative to what you're doing. Plus minus for a defenseman is a huge stat.
It's decorative to what all six players
to the team for sure. I get you. Okay, that does make sense in that sense, but it also means
can't
that
stop a puck every time I'm on the ice, it's not my fault.
No, of course you're gonna fucking say that, right? Oh yeah, it's not my fault that the fucking guy walked right around me and put top shelf. Yeah, no, it's definitely a goalie's fault. Probably should have made that save.
You don't get the plus minus.
Oh fucking don't give me that shit.
Man, and I'm curious though. I mean, I'm curious what Arizona's four goals against over that span is. We also have to keep in mind he's probably playing 22 to 26 minutes a night. He's going to be their top pairing D. Like, he's going to be on the ice on a shit team. I mean, so for example, the way that I'm looking at this is like Luongo coming over from Florida when we picked him up. Okay, like his numbers, if you just looked at them flat out, his save percentage was high, goals against average was a little bit above higher, and his win-loss ratio was shit because he was coming from a garbage team. But anybody who watched him play internationally or when he had better teammates around him realized like that he was an absolute star. Like, I'm not saying that OEL is going to come over and light the town on fire the way that Luongo did. Maybe that's a bad pun, but like it's just we should. I think that it's tough to look at his plus minus, which is kind of a team stat. Same with goals against for a goalie, but it's tough to make that argument. I think he is going to thrive in Vancouver, especially when you look at who his D pairings are going to be, who his forwards he's passing the puck to. Like, I'm excited. I've
heard the same song and dance with Louis Eriksson. I've been here before. Oh, he's gonna come over. He plays with the Stadians. When they play with Sweden in the Olympics, they're awesome. This team's gonna put up 40 fucking goals. I've heard it all before, man. And then this old Swede comes over with a shit contract, who's declining and does dog shit. So, but I'm saying I've heard it, see it before. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Right?
No, we haven't been fooled yet.
I do hear you.
Eriksson, that's what I'm talking about. Eriksson,
who was the first one then?
Fool me once was Eriksson. Fool me twice, shame on you is right. OEL.
But
right. So if
OEL hasn't fooled you yet.
It's a matter. It's the same.
I know what you're saying.
It's a future thing. If OEL comes out and he can play, I think it's a great deal. I really do. I think it's all based on OEL, and the reason why I say that is because Garland is going to do what he's going to do. He's a good trade. I like him. He's going to produce. Will he be on the second line? Maybe. I think it has to. I think it's more in Podkolzin's hand. Podkolzin.
That was good. Well done. Yeah.
Close enough. If he can come out and play that second line, you gotta give it to him. He's
why would you put that on a 19-year-old kid or a 20-year-old? Why put that pressure on him? He can thrive on
just
the
like
third
being
line.
the top D man on our team too. Why would you put the pressure on a 19-year-old kid that can't do it, right? Like Quinn Hughes. I don't know. He's 20, right? Like he's an adult. Quinn Hughes was 19, came out, produced really at a high level. Patterson came in young, produced at a high level. I can see Podkolzin doing the same thing. The reason he got drafted late was because we had to wait 2 years for this guy. Right. Yeah. So he's older, he's mature, he's played in KHL, which is the second best league in the world behind fucking the NHL. He's played with these types of guys. Yes, he had shit minutes, but when he did have his time, he made shit happen.
I'm not saying he's going to be good.
To say that he's not going to come in, but I think it's depending on him. If he comes in and produces, he's going to get that second line spot. How would you not? How would you not give the guy that's your young future that could be a superstar? And he's producing as a rookie. Why would you not give him that chance and sit him on the third line instead of them play with playmakers like Hoglander and Horvat? Second line. Yeah, on the second line. But if he plays on the third, he's playing with Dickinson and Pearson, which is a drop off offensively 100%. Yeah. So I think he's going to produce better on the second line with Horvat and Hoglander, and having Garland on the third line makes it a nasty third line with Pearson, Garland, and Dickinson. I think that's a way better spot for him to be.
Why couldn't Colson produce on that line with those two guys?
I think it's better for him to play with offensive players, is what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to be a guy that can take it and do himself. I think he needs to play with guys that can help him produce. And I think we all think the Hoglander and Horvat are more offensively gifted than Dickinson and Pearson.
Zach?
Am I wrong?
Well, I mean, I think, okay, so if we're trying to run a successful team here, do you want a first team or first time player, first year player coming in the top 6 ideally? No, it doesn't matter who it is. Ideally, you want him starting in the bottom 6, preferably on the third line. Like Podkolzin, you watch him play in the KHL, he is a physical force out there. So he's not going to be like, he's not like, I don't know, who's a finesse player who would come into the league and you really have to insulate him on the top 2 lines. Like Podkolzin can handle his own.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. I mean, McDavid's just
McDavid. I mean, there's a lot of young guys. And it's a younger game, man. Like even Cale Makar. Cale Makar just signed for $9 million coming out of his rookie contract.
I get it. I mean, I get it. To me, though, like I would rather have our rookie Podkolzin coming in on the third line.
He's not a rookie. I mean, he is a rookie, but he's a rookie. He's a rookie. The same way as Kirill Kaprizov was a fucking rookie. He's 23 years old.
Well, yeah, Kaprizov
but there's
the 26.
Thing. No, he's 23.
And it doesn't matter.
Kaprizov is that young?
Yeah, he's 23. So he's going back to the KHL.
Those poor
Shit,
bastards.
He's holding out with Minnesota. He wants to go back. I to say like it's not. This isn't the fucking early '90s hockey anymore, where you put you guys on the bottom line. A lot of these rookies coming in are playing at high levels and want to produce and play better with offensively gifted players.
But that's
where you have to put them.
Our third line is offensive.
Dickinson's not an offensive, and Pearson, he can score, yes. But Dickinson, to say he's as offensive as Horvat is no, he's not at all. Dickinson's more defensively minded.
Right, but
okay, so let's say we never made the trade. Who would you have on our right wing? Like, how would we fill out our roster? Like, would it be better, or are you just willing to burn next year? That's burning another year of Horvat, another year of Besser, another year of Miller.
But that's what you have to do to win.
Miller's the
Yeah, Miller is a key, but I think he wants to stick around. And what I'm saying is we wait that year, and then it opens up that much cap, and we can kind of fit the players that we want. Instead of having to take but that's in free agency.
I think Harlan
right?
is the player we want.
No, I'm not talking about Garland. I'm talking about OEL. I love Garland. You guys are thinking I don't like him. I really like him on my team.
Let's separate the trades. Let's pretend that it was 2. Let's pretend if they played for separate teams, right? So Garland.
Okay, you want to separate the trades?
So Garland for a first and Roussel. So you like that? I mean,
yeah, I'll take that.
Okay, so then
it sucks giving up first, but not a top 10 pick, but I could see it.
So then the other one you're talking is just the dumpster fire of players, black hole, for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So those guys who were eating up our cap. So your argument, I get it.
We saved $4 million. We didn't save fucking that much money off those caps.
But 2 more years.
It wasn't that high.
2 more years we're out of it.
Next year.
Now we're locked in for
they're
an
done at the end of this year. No, they're locked. They were done at the end of this year. We don't have them another year. We finished this year. They are done. Their contract's over. We have all that cap space. We have to hold on for another year. We play this year. We're not winning the cup this year.
Season, yeah.
This season we're not winning the cup. We're too far off.
Yeah.
No, we have a lot of holes on defense. We got to figure out Schmidt. We got.
Oh, we will.
I mean, like,
it'll
I mean, yeah. I mean,
but
free agency. I want to say something that Zach was saying and mention another trade that happened. When Philly gave up. I'm gonna butcher this name too. Gossip-Bear, or whatever it is.
Gossip-Bear, yep.
Gossip-Bear. And what was it? First round in a second for nothing, or a second round in something? I can't remember. It was 2 picks. And
I'll
for
pull
literally
up the
cap
Gossip-Bear
space
trade right now, just so we have it.
To have the facts down.
Yeah.
But
and while we do that, sorry, go on, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that there's a lot of people that are giving up a lot for nothing, and actually a bag of pucks. I've never seen a trade where they have not received anything at all.
Oh yeah, you're talking about. So that was the cap offload.
Yeah, where they just loading off contracts like that for literally nothing. Right?
It was literally nothing. Yeah, they gave it.
Second round and a seventh rounder with Shane Gostisbehere. It's similar to the Andrew Ladd offload.
They signed or fucking another name I can't pronounce.
Just so
Buffalo defenseman. Restlainen.
What? Say that one more time, Zach, for the listeners. What the trade was?
Oh, sorry. So they traded Gostisbehere along with a second in 2022 and a seventh round in 2022. So 2 picks for next year. And that's it with Gostisbehere for a salary dump.
For nothing in return.
Nothing in return.
Yeah. And the Andrew Ladd one was just as horrendous, dumping from New York Islanders. Now, and then you're right. I mean, you're right. Philly then used that cap space to sign or trade for Ristolainen and Ellis out of Nashville.
And they gave up 2 more draft picks, a first and a second for Ristolainen. So they gave up 2 seconds, a first and a seventh for really one player. Yeah. And Gostisbehere or whatever.
And Robert Hagg on top of that.
Yeah, they gave up Robert Hagg too. They gave up 2 players, like 4 picks for the 1 player.
It was horrendous. And so that's what I mean, though, in a flat cap era, like that's another part of trying to analyze this trade is the fact that he dumped 3 contracts in 1 trade like that is incredible. Like, I don't know, man.
But I think Steve's argument
about it.
I think Steve's argument is that we could have basically given them up for nothing. Isn't that what you're saying, Steve?
Yeah, I'm saying that we won't have to give up our
picks. Like we wouldn't have had to take it on Oliver Ekman-Larsson. You don't see him becoming I
don't see why we take another 6-year contract, a high 6-year contract. It's tough for a guy that you can say he's playing on a shit team, but maybe that fucked up his confidence. Maybe he can't get to the player he used to be. Maybe he's a little bit too old now. Maybe he's a little bit slower. He's not able to do. Yeah, exactly. But that's when you start declining as a defenseman, right? You don't. How many? It's rare that you have. I mean, think about Shea Weber. He's 36, got hurt, and he's gone for the whole season now, right? There's not those guys when you play D that can make it to those that late mid-30s, late 30s, right? I don't know, like I think it all depends on him. Go ahead.
I agree. I just think that they're loading up for this window. Like I don't know. I think it's a pretty big exclamation point that the window's open now, and the idea is to win now. Like the next 3 to 5 years, I think it's wide open. Like who knows? This may even change like Nate Schmidt's mind on staying. This may, this can alter the team.
No, fuck him. If he wants to go, leave.
Not particularly. But I mean, can you imagine a defensive line so you'll have, I don't know, it could be OEL and Myers or Hughes and Myers, and then you'll have Schmidt and OEL. Like, I mean, that top 4, that is solid no matter what way you stack it.
I think they're all lefties, aren't they?
The handedness is on them.
Yeah, they're all left-handed. We need to trade for a right-handed defenseman. We need to get rid of Schmidt and pick up a right-handed defenseman.
I do agree with that.
We need to. I think in my head, I see before free agency. Okay, we offload Schmidt and Holtby for
that would be awesome
for picks. And then we pick up. So then we.
But why do you want picks? If this is if this is our chance to go for it,
but we don't have.
Say fuck it to her.
We don't have a bullpen.
Right. I know that's something I brought up. Right. We're trading away our young talent, or not protecting our young talent. Yeah, like we lost Colin.
It's an expansion draft, man. You're gonna lose somebody.
Yeah, but we also traded Tyler Meyer, who I really liked as a prospect, for a quarter of a season for a player that we didn't re-sign, and we decided Jake Virtanen.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
So, I mean, why are we giving up our pool for nothing, right? We go all in.
We need to retain those draft picks, right? We need to get them back somehow.
But if we already made these moves to have a 2-3 year window, we need to fucking sell, and fucking hopefully we win a cup, and then fucking tank for the next 5 years. That's the only way. Trade away our players, pick up draft picks, and rebuild.
I mean, I don't think we have our full draft covered for next year, so I'm not worried about picking up picks. We could trade them for players. Like if we pick up picks, fine, we can flip them later at the deadline or something. But we have our full draft cabinet for next year, so I'm not personally.
Top 10 pick?
Sorry.
Do you think we're going to land a top 10 pick next year, though?
Fuck no, not anymore.
Oh, exactly, right? So
But
now we're probably going to drop.
So you're wanting to drop so we get a better pick next year, or are we wanting to get competitive now? Like that's where the whole mindset shift comes in between this trade. Like it's and that's where, like, I think if you look at the talent we've got, like Besser, Horvat, Miller, Pearson, Hoglander. I'm just going through the list now. Petey, like we've got Garland as well. Like we've got that top 6, top 9 solidified. Like that is a competitive roster.
Top 9. It is.
It's a even our fourth top line. 9.
If we
our fourth line.
They even talk about, okay, so something else I want to bring up is that there's talks of re-signing Brandon Sider. It looks like that might be going through. Yeah,
I'd like him on the fourth line and PK. That's it. Yeah. But we're talking max 1.2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's gonna have to take a cut. Like I was thinking, like what below 1.5 or below, fourth line and play PK for us. But I think it was Benny who came out and said he wants to work a deal with him, something along the lines of that. We also need to re-sign. I think Hammernick is something we need to keep on as a parent, or you guys want to get rid of him?
No, I like him.
I think he's good. Our bottom
Depends
6.
what hand he is.
So,
I don't.
well, he's definitely a lefty.
Yeah,
that's all he picked. So our fourth line is what?
Hammernick's right-handed. Hammernick's right-handed, and
shit.
So is Myers.
Yeah, we need to keep him then.
Myers is also right-handed. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not as bad then. That's not. I think that's terrible.
Look, I agree. If Schmidt wants to go, fuck him, send him away. But at the same time, and again, if we can send Holtby, like, and if I'm looking at a team that may need a goalie, like Boston's kind of aging that core out. If they want one last stab at it, Holtby's a good goalie there. But I agree. If we can move out Holtby, and if Schmidt wants to go, send him too. But man,
would you throw a draft pick?
Would I throw? No. Like, I don't think at this point you would need to throw a draft pick in.
Or do you want you as a dump? You don't want to trade for someone. You want to trade to dump cap.
Well, ideally, but I don't think we'd have to coax anybody into it with a pick. I mean, like Holtby's still got game left. Yeah, the last 2 seasons haven't looked great, but I think on a competitive squad, he's going to do well. Like he's still a gamer. You see him battle. Like he's, adjusting to the Canucks. I don't really fault him much for last year. The previous year in Washington, who knows? But I don't think we have to coax anybody to really pick him up. Not anything high anyway.
So I've heard a few rumors. I don't know if you guys heard these too. Nate Schmidt for another name I'm a fucking butcher. From the Calgary Flames, Andrew Mangiapane.
Oh, Mangiapane.
Mangiapane, yeah. That's kind of around. I like him. He's a hard, gritty guy. But now with Garland, I don't think he really has a spot on our team, right? I'd rather have my team than play against them.
I don't think we have room for Mangiapane either with the Garland signing, and I think he's way too valuable to Calgary, to be honest. Especially,
but Calgary's D is looking a little weak.
Well, that's true.
Losing Giordano was huge, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, their hole is there, and they're on fire sale.
That's
right?
impressive, Zach.
I do this a lot, by the way. I've got kids, so it's kind of running around the house all the time.
Running away from the noise there.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all my life is. But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if we'll get Mangiapane or if we even have space for him anymore. But it'd be interesting. Anyway, Calgary's probably floundering a little bit with the loss of their captain.
Look, I want to go back to who brought it up. Steve, I think you brought it up. Makar signing for a 9
mil, 6 year
9 mil AV, 6 years. What does that look like for Quinn Hughes now?
See, are you asking my opinion?
And will Petey get an offer sheet?
Well, I don't think he's getting an offer sheet. What was supposed to happen is that if Carey Price got taken, Montreal is on offer sheet Petey. So with Carey Price not getting taken, I think that kind of leaves it out. If someone offers sheets, that's kind of a dick move.
Hey, Seattle doesn't give a fuck. They have no history in the league.
That's true, but you don't want.
And who did they draft in their top 6 for center? Who did they draft in at top 6? They got what? Gord and Eberle. That's it.
Yeah, that all-star HL.
They definitely picked players like they wanted cap space, so they could most certainly offer
Landeskog. I think he might be going there.
That could be.
Yeah, I mean, I heard he wants like upwards to 9 million, and they're not willing to pay more than 6.5. Poor McKinnon, man, taking that like probably not probably the best deal in the NHL, and you got guys around him trying to suck everything he's got out of it, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's a little tough to take. Is what he's 6.5 or whatever as McKinnon's top 3 player in the league without a doubt, if not top 2, if not the best.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? What Zach? Where's your head on this for the Quinn Hughes? Like how does the Makar contract affect that? And do we get PD done before an offer sheet's laid out, or are we headed towards cap hell here with these two?
Well, I think we could be in cap hell, but I don't think so. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Seattle does offer sheet for Pettersson, just because you look at their top 6, they obviously plan to weaponize that cap space somehow. And the thing that makes most sense is probably RFAs. So they could be, but I think as far as Hughes and Makar, like that obviously sets a standard. Heiskanen too signed 8.45 2 days ago, but
for 6 years or something.
Times 8, I think.
Imagine.
Yeah. See now if you've got 8.45 and 9.0, now the other good thing is that Heiskanen's contract was buoyed by a trip to the Stanley Cup final. Makar's is buoyed by look at the team that he's playing on, right? He had better numbers Hughes did last year, and that was on a pretty shitty Canucks squad last season. So I think that's actually going to help them. I have a feeling they're going to push for bridge contracts on PD and Hughes, only because flat cap for one. They know that they may be able to hit it big in 3 years. And at the same time, like look at the stats from last year. PD at the end of 2 years ago would have been asking for what, 10.5 this year. Now, who knows? He's coming off wrist surgery or wrist injury, and he didn't play for more than half of last season. So I think it actually helps in the Canucks' favor for this next 3 years. I think they both sign probably bridge deals. I would guess Hughes around 7 to 7.5 and PD probably 6.5 to 7 would be my guess based off of, there's so much questions.
Before free agency kicks off, you think?
I hope before training camp anyway. Yeah. I mean, we've got kind of all summer to deal with them being RFAs, but I don't know. But then again, an offer sheet would throw that right to the wind, right?
That's my thought.
To PD. But also Benning's already said no matter what, he's going to match. So we'll have to see. That's also kind of as a Canuck fan being hopeful that we get him in around, a combined cap hit of 14 to 15 million.
14's even high. Yeah.
I know. Like if I were, I would hope for 13 to 13.5, but
right.
That's being a Canuck fan. But I do think that they're going to go to bridge deals only because of the fact that this last season wasn't that great. You got to look at the teams that Heiskanen and Makar played on too, right? So we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Zach. I think I see it more as Quinn Hughes getting a bridge deal, maybe a little bit less than 7.5. I'm hoping. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but more like the 6.5 range.
I'm with you. I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I just because like his plus minus was yes, as a team stat I get, but he was on the ice for a lot of goals, and he needs to get a little bit better defensively. I know his team stands up for him on that aspect, but he does need to get a little bit better defensively. Cale Makar is a better overall all around player, a little bit more size, a little bit. Just offense, like don't get me wrong, like I love Hughes and I think they're close, but Makar has proven to be the better player. So he's not going to get anything close to 9 million. But I think we lock up PD. I think we're going to get maybe a 6 year, 6 to 8 year probably contract for hopefully something less than 8 million. But we'll see. Because if we can get Hughes at a lower deal for a smaller contract and then maybe blow it up, that might give us a little bit more. But like I'm same type of thing. I'm hoping 13, 14 for the combined for him. But I think Hughes with the bridge and we lock up PD. That's my my thoughts on it.
What do you think, Andrew? Because to me, yeah. Anyway, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. Obviously, the offer sheet really worries me because, expansion years are totally different. And I mean, yeah, okay. Of course, Jim Benning's he will match. But again, what's the cost of that? And then how do you round out the rest of your team? Right. going back to the fact that we just took on OEL's contract.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm totally with you on that, Steve. Like, I think that's a really heavy burden to take on for those amount of years. But I'm going to be more optimistic than you are. I know you said fool me once, but I'm going to say he's got more left in the tank. I think coming to a new team, fresh start, I think he'll
I hope you're right, man. I really like. I don't want to feel like I don't want to come off as like, oh, I think he's just gonna come and suck. I just see. I'm playing not like devil's advocate because this is what I believe in. I want to see what he can do. I want to see it in the flesh, right? I know what Garland can do
before you believe.
He's the question mark, right? He's the question mark in that trade.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
If he comes and produces, Benny's a genius, right? But he comes in and tanks.
And Gunther, is that how you say it? Gunther?
Yeah. Like I was hoping
he'll be someone we keep an eye on, you know?
Yeah, because he would have fell to us. I hope someone else would have dropped. They got Kent Johnson early. I was really, really hoping he would drop. Same with Mason McTavish, but either of them, I think they both went top 7. And then even Brant Clark, who was the right-handed D-man who was supposed to be up there, rated pretty high. He got picked at 8th. So I mean, we weren't really left with much. Dylan Gunther is the only one that I would have wanted. So looking back on it, it's not terrible. But pre-draft, I was like, maybe one of those guys would fall to us. So
if we want to kind of like close on this trade thing, we could look at the idea of if he does sign an offer sheet and what the compensation would be for that. Because then it comes down to a question of do we match or not? Like, are you guys pretty familiar? Yeah. Are you guys pretty familiar with the compensation coming the other way?
Is not matching an option here?
It's an option.
I think it's 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Is it not?
Well, it depends on the dollar amount.
So if the dollar signing is roughly from 8.2 million to 10.3 million in there, like which realistically
it would be if it went offered.
Which realistically it would be that's what would be offered. It would be 2 firsts, 1 second, and 1/3. Now, if somebody did try to sign him to an offer sheet over 10.27 million, that's 4 first-round picks.
Right.
So I mean, like you have to estimate that a PD offer sheet. So let's say the PD offer sheet comes in at 8 million because they don't want to give like all those picks, right? So if it's at 8 million, it'll be 1 first, 1 second, and 1/3. But then you don't get into the multiple first round picks. I mean, if somebody offer sheets PD at 8 million, we sign him to 8 times 8 in a heartbeat, in my opinion.
Right.
Like that's it.
So
that's it.
But that's the thing is the idea of the offer sheet kind of you want to pay more than what you think the other GM's willing to pay.
Exactly.
Right? Without giving the least amount of draft picks as you think you can get away with.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But if that makes sense.
If somebody went 10 times 8 on PD, would you not match?
Oh yeah.
I would match.
But it's kind of a kick in the teeth.
Oh, absolutely. It's a total nut punch, but at the same time, because we've got another 2 years left at flat cap and then it'll start rising again.
Yeah.
10 million at 8 is
10 million at 8 years.
8 times.
Yeah. You can only go up to 8 years.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's 10 million at 8 years. Does this not remind you guys of something about, was it 2 years ago with Sebastian Aho? Right.
Oh,
when they offer sheeted him and fucking totally fucked over Carolina there. Can't remember who that was.
Well, no, I think Carolina ended up getting him. That was Mark Bergevin and the Canadians.
The Canadians were, they still.
And I'm pretty sure like they ended up getting him like below market value. Like I remember around the league, it was like they only offered that much. Like now they basically did all the negotiating for Carolina. Like I'm going to see what Sebastian Aho's contract is now, but like that basically they did all the negotiating for him. Like that's what he was worth. He got 5 years, 42, so just over 8.
If the Kraken offered PD 10, now I know this hurts. Now, actually, let me add something. I was going to mention this earlier. Imagine the fucking headlines if the Kraken offer PD an offer sheet. What that'll do to the rivalry.
That would blow it the fuck up. I love PD, man. If he went to the Kraken,
if you think like Canuck fans already hate Seattle, imagine if they fucking offer sheeted PD.
So let me run this by you one more time. So let's go over that 10 million 8 8 years.
I would question that. I would question that. I would
exactly.
Consider
Here's the thing: 4 first-round picks from Seattle Kraken.
Well, that's why I said
they've drafted.
That's why I said 10 million, because that's where it would get. That's where it'll get interesting. But sorry, so if they go 10 million, that's just under the max cap. So if it's 10 million, it's 2 firsts, 1 second, and 1 third.
Okay. If it's over, so say 10.2.
If it's 10.3, then it's 4.
Okay, 4 first rounds. So imagine 10.3 comes on the offer sheet.
That'd be a real
4 first round picks from a guy. But the thing too, like you said earlier, he's coming off wrist surgery.
Oh, 10.3, right? Take him, ship him to Seattle. Yeah, he's going down the I-5 at 10.3.
I'll keep his jersey. Pick. I'll buy a Kraken.
Open the border.
Patterson jersey. I'll cheer for him when he comes over. But I take those 4 first round picks, man.
Absolutely.
Then that blows our 5-year window.
No, it doesn't. That opens up cap for us to pick someone up.
We don't know. No, not
then
really.
It opens up a lot of cap for us to maybe pay for someone that can come and fill that role. The PD is a great player, don't get me wrong, but there are other players that can fill his role.
Jack Eichel.
No.
Jack Eichel's at what, 10-5?
Anyway, I don't touch anything that went to Buffalo, man.
Yeah,
that's a whole different conversation.
I don't know what the hell's in that water, but actually Taylor Hall left and he's fucking actually kind of lit it up for Boston.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did really good. I think he signed a pretty big contract. So maybe Eichel would be nice. I mean, Eichel would fit in pretty nice, but I mean he's 10 million too, right? So why not just offer by PD that much?
Yeah, no, let's reel that back
totally
here.
Yeah.
That's we're going way into the future here.
Yeah, that's a lot of what
you're right though. If the Kraken do offer him, imagine that, right? Like we're gonna hate them. Like as much as we don't like them now, we're gonna hate them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I almost hope they do just for the drama. Yeah, but no, that would really fuck us. Like it really would. It would handcuff our cap situation in a great way.
Yeah.
Like I said, unless they try to do it at 8 to 8.5, then we'll take it. That's all the negotiating done. That's like the Aho contract.
They
to
do
me,
yeah.
Who
said that? Did Benning say that? It was like when was it? They said like, yeah, go ahead. I think he said it when he was saying that he would match any offer. He said like, just that'd be great. You do my job for me, kind of thing. Like.
Or maybe he said that for someone to offer 10.3 million, but just take it first rounds. I was bluffing.
And by the way, just for like clarity, we don't actually have round 2 or 3 picks next year. I was wrong on that.
Okay.
Right, so
I wanted to research. We have a first, 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, that's not good, especially because we're going to get a 20th pick, maybe, or 15th to 20th pick.
I could see us retaining
a 32nd pick.
Yeah, thank you. I said, I love that. Yeah. Well, I think I said that. I said that in my solo podcast.
We've been saying that since I was for 32 years. I've been saying that. So I mean, I guess you can't fool me more than once.
No kidding.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, look. I mean, okay. So just to wrap it up, guys. Final thoughts. Canucks next season. I mean, I think we can all agree.
Playoff.
Yeah. What you think? I was going to say, I think we can all agree that they're a better team today. So you're guessing? We're not going to be the
bottom. We're not bottom fear. I say we get the playoffs, and I think there's going to be problems if we don't get past the first round, like with management to Benning. I think Benning needs to make it past and to show that the team can win, and they're only a little bit away. Mm-hmm. If they don't, we won't see him again. So it could be a blessing in disguise.
Does Ekman Larsson wear an A?
Yep.
Do you think so?
Yep. Yeah, I think so. If Sutter doesn't come back and Edler leaving, that's 2 of our A's gone. You're bringing in a captain with
but that opens
30 years old. I say
that opens up for a 20-year-old. Steve says, "Give it to the kids."
Well, look, he's going to be here for a while. He's going to be a part of the leadership corps.
I was thinking JT Miller for one, and then you have to put on. You have to put. I guess so. I guess OEL, but fuck. I guess you're right. Yeah. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. The more I think about it, I think the better it is. I think you're right. I think I'm just being a little negative right now.
I can hear you warming up, Steve. I can hear you warming up. Welcome. Come to us. As far as next year, as far as next year, I think the Pacific is for the Canucks can take the Pacific. It's going to be Edmonton and Vegas, who we're really up against. And realistically, Edmonton's so top heavy. Their goaltending is a question mark. Vegas down the center. Like Vegas has Chandler Stevenson, William Karlsson, and Nicholas Waugh down the middle. Like who are we going to have? Petey, Horvat, Dickinson. Like
yeah.
Didn't Edmonton just make a move for Hyman?
Yeah, I think they're going to end up paying him like 5.5 to 6 is the word out there. Like that is insane to me.
See, I think we get Garland for under 4, man. I really think we can.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, he made 1.5 2-year contract, right? If I think we can get him for 3.5. I really hope 3 years.
I'm going to say 4.25 times 4 for Garland. And I'm going to say Canucks take first in the Pacific next year.
Wow.
I have a feeling, man.
Ooh.
Who do we
I just want playoffs, man. I just want playoffs.
Yeah, that top 9, I think they're going to do it.
That's bold. I'm going to...
Big words from Zach
I'm writing
over
that
here.
down. Yeah, I love
Full
it.
prediction of the week.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm hoping. I think so. That top 4 on D and that top 9 and forward right now, I think they can compete with the best in the West. I really think.
Quick question, and correct me if I'm wrong, but since for those who don't know, I don't think we mentioned this yet, but Arizona Coyotes they're Arizona now. Yeah. They're retained 12% of his cap, which is basically just under $1 million off his 8.2, so put it around 8.26. Is kind of where we're at. If we retain another 12% off of that and then trade them, is that possible for 2 teams to retain a contract? Do you guys know off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I do not know. I would have to look at that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I have a feeling maybe because those chumps in Toronto, like last year, they were playing the middleman for like some trades. So they would trade like, I forget who it was who they middleman, some goalie. But anyway, they traded them first to the Leafs, then the Leafs 15% or something, and then traded him just to facilitate. It was to the Golden Knights. I know that.
Okay.
I think it was Robin Leonard actually, but anyway, yeah, I don't know about that, but
I think you can. So that could work out to your favor, Steve, right? Not having
have more faith. Have more faith in Oliver.
We aren't trading OEL.
Give him a chance, Spike.
He's gonna have the A.
Hold up, wait. I want to clip this. I want to clip that soundbite right now. Okay, I just want to clip that soundbite.
Clip it. Save it. Post it now.
Of the season, when we're sitting at the fucking bottom, and you're like off with OEL, like I turns the puck over. I want to be like, nope, sorry, might be gone for another 5 years.
OEL is gonna have the A on his chest, and it's all gonna be good.
I'm not saying he's gonna let it up next year, but I think it might be a smooth look. If you don't think the Sedins had their hands in this, I see their hands all over this.
They do.
That's actually a good point. That's a good point, right? But I mean, the Sedins had their hands on Louis Eriksson, so
OEL 52
that was
points
before they were businessmen, Steve.
They were always businessmen. They're professionals. They were businessmen. You were talking about.
But, OEL has 52 points next year. I'll say that.
52.
Do you think?
Points.
Okay.
Is that a career year for him?
No,
I think he's had 57.
56, and then he's at like 48 and around there.
Yeah.
I'm
pumped, boys. I cannot wait for this.
Me too.
Me too. I think having the pressure off of him, though, I think the one thing is that we having Quinn Hughes, he doesn't have to be that offensive guy. Mm-hmm. But having like he may be able to be able to relax a little bit and maybe produce. Hopefully, I really hope so. But
I'm with you, man. I can hear the hope coming out of your voice. It's getting. It's
I wanted to do it. I want the Canucks to succeed, but it's just I don't know. It's just something in the back of my mind, that my gut feeling that something's going to go bad. So, but
we are.
I hope for the best.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think, like you said, hope for the best. I have faith. Let us know what you guys think. Comment in any of our posts, DM on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. Let us know what you think. Obviously, this is huge news, and the news is not going to stop. We're probably going to be here doing this next week. We don't have one scheduled, but I imagine that stuff's going to happen. So
it will be gone.
Yeah. I think things. It's going to be a huge few weeks, and then we're kicking into training camp, off season. It's right around the corner. So
free agency on the 28th for anyone that doesn't know. Next Wednesday is free agency. My birthday. It's the best birthday present ever.
Yeah, just wait. Don't say that yet. Wait, see what happens.
So when I say that, it's be positive. But when you say it's totally fine. Oh, okay, I see how it is.
All right. You got me there, Steve. You got me there. I'll be positive. It's going to be a great free agency. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Tune in next week. Stay tuned on Instagram. Check us out. Follow us on any of your favorite podcast platforms. And yeah, we'll talk to you next week. Keep your skate on the ice. Thanks, guys, for hanging out.